everyone. This is Your Life Purpose TV, and I'm your host, Pauline Rodish. This is the show that helps you to awaken your innate gifts and talents by sharing with our guests their experience in life, their personal stories that I hope will have some meaning for each of you. Joining me today is none other than Melissa Groom. Melissa Groom is a friend and a great support on my own personal entrepreneurial journey, not least instrumental in helping me put this show together. So I'm really, really honoured and privileged to have Melissa joining us today. She's an amazing story to tell, so let's get stuck in. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Delighted you're here. And I really want to get stuck in with this question. When you were a little girl, what did you dream of being? Who did you want to be?
I dreamt of being a famous singer.
Famous, no less. Can you sing?
Yes, I think I can. Not like Mariah Carey or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yes, there's music in our family.
Beautiful. So what happened? Why are you not the famous singer that you thought you wanted to be?
I think I've always looked for security, which most people do.
Yeah.
And so I looked for a career that was going to give me that security, which I trained as a secretary in an accounting firm, and I did that up until my firstborn.
Very different from being a famous singer. Okay, so how many children have you got?
My partner and I have 7 children together.
Wow, that is a big responsibility
It is.
and a massive commitment in itself. Okay, so let's just talk about perhaps where you are now, and maybe then we can look back a little bit and join some dots and see, was there a thread that guided you to do what you're doing? So maybe start with telling us what you're currently doing.
So currently I'm helping people like yourself create an international profile using the power of video, and you're doing your own web TV show. Other people create their own online programs,
Yes.
and online workshops and increase their income that way.
And what inspired that?
My own personal experience of getting into video myself, just purely out of searching for something that would allow me to be able to work from home. At the time, it was a need to be able to work from home whilst my son recovered from his kidney transplant.
Yeah, and that obviously was a very big, massive journey for you.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time in the hospital with your son when he was going through that procedure. So how was that? That was a kind of a defining moment really for you, wasn't it?
I think I looked around the room at all the parents that were really struggling, and if I had have sat there and really worried and stressed about him, I would have been projecting that energy onto him.
Yeah.
And so I was more concerned about him thriving and being well. So I wanted to just be positive about it, and it all went well, very successful. He's 6 years on now, he's nearly 18. And but I guess instead of worrying about what could happen, I turned my focus onto something else, and I thought, how can I help the parents that are here with me also away feeling isolated and alone from their family and friends? And how can I use this video marketing course that I'd just done online to start a business and to help these people?
But you've made a really important point, because myself as a coach, teaching people to become more aware of what they have inside them, I think the biggest secret to discovering your passion and your purpose is to look outside of yourself, which is exactly what you did. You didn't put your attention inward. You thought, how can I help? How can I serve? And actually, Deepak Chopra, my teacher, that's one of the questions that we would ask ourselves in meditation. And then we just surrender and be guided as to our next natural move. So that is really beautiful, because I've no doubt, and I'm sure you're going to tell me, that you probably did that quite unconsciously.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely, at that time, was not practicing meditation.
No.
I was doing a lot of praying.
Yes, yes.
Well, I guess you could call that
It's a form of meditation,
I guess
for sure.
you could,
Absolutely.
yes. But I wasn't actually praying or meditating for guidance on what I should be doing for my
Yes.
life purpose at the time.
No, I think your focus was on your child and,
Yes.
and getting him well.
Yes.
Which is...
But I look back now and I think, oh my gosh, how could I have created a web TV show at such a critical time in his life? So my message is, if I can do that with all the pressures that I had and obstacles and whatever, anybody can.
Well, I think, Melissa, you really are proof that very often when we are challenged, that there is a massive learning and an opportunity within it, and you chose to, even though it was an unconscious movement, you chose to do something for other people. So your son's, the scare of his life, of the condition that he had, not really knowing the full outcome even at that time whilst you were in the hospital, it's still on some level, because I truly believe there's always something working on our behalf, guiding us and looking after us. They often say we're never dealt a thing that we cannot handle.
True.
And I think, would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, that's really inspirational in itself, just to know that you managed it and handled it and turned it completely around. So you saw within that challenge with your firstborn an opportunity,
Yes.
albeit unconsciously, but something was working through you. And now, when you look back, you can perhaps connect those dots. Yeah.
When I think back too, I remember Nicholas coming to me. He was 11 at the time, and saying, "Mum,
which is my own son's age right now.
I want to create a YouTube channel and I want to do Toy Story reviews." He loves Toy Story.
Oh, I do too.
And so it wasn't me working on producing and putting together the show at Ronald McDonald House. The concept was born there.
Yes.
But Nicholas created a YouTube channel, which I set up for him, and all of a sudden he was getting shout outs from other teenagers and young people all around the world saying, "Hey, check out Nick Shug's YouTube channel."
Wow.
And so he was quickly building his profile with the power of YouTube, because I was new to social media back then.
Yeah.
Facebook was only just out. And so we didn't even really know how to use it. So I was watching the reach he was getting, and quickly realised that if I produce this web TV show for parents, the potential reach that's going to have to help people all around the world.
And what was the name of that show?
Toddlers to Teens Parent TV Show.
And then you ran it pretty much for about 6 years, isn't that right?
Oh no, 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. We did a show every week, and I've sold that show now, and it is still being produced and hosted by MD Balky.
That's right. So it's still in existence, which is amazing. So basically, for our viewers that are watching Your Life Purpose TV, and the essence being that, everybody has within them a purpose. And at this point, I just want to say that you may or may not have heard it, but Elizabeth Gilbert, famed for her Eat, Pray, Love and Big Magic books, following a tour of Australia, funny enough, the end of last year, one of her audience guests messaged her actually on her wall on her Facebook page, and told her after the particular show, the event, that she felt really worse than she had ever felt in her life, because she said that I don't have a purpose and I don't know what my passion is, and she felt very lost. And it actually caused Elizabeth Gilbert to go and really review how she approached this whole thing. And she actually apologised for being a passion bully, I think she called it, or passion bully. And I could have been guilty about that growing up as well with my younger siblings, helping them, trying to encourage them at least to find their path in life. It comes to everybody at different stages. There are children that know absolutely very, very young that this is what they want to do, and they consequently have that. They create that or manifest it, and it is very much their pathway. But for you and I've definitely taken numerous twists and turns, career-wise and job-wise and business-wise, etc. And I think we're constantly evolving, though. Would you agree with that?
Definitely.
Like what you're doing now perhaps will look very different in 2 years' time, maybe, or 10 years' time. So what aspirations have you got for the future?
Wow.
You're the visibility mentor, although I'm going to, you'll see that at the end of the show, if anybody wants to get in touch with Melissa. But Melissa is the visibility mentor now, but that has changed over the years. So what are your aspirations for the future?
Well, it's hard to say really, because technology is changing so fast.
It is.
So, I joke around and say to my kids, because they're all doing their end of high school at the moment and choosing their career, and I said, don't get so stressed out about it, because when I was your age, there was no such thing as the internet or a mobile phone, and that's how I run my business now.
Yes, I know.
And so it's really hard to see the future. I look around at what's trending, and I keep up to date with a mentor and courses to know the different tools and strategies that we can use and implement into our business. But I don't think my my purpose is going to change too much is just helping people to share their gifts with the world, because we have got this amazing technology that's available to us, and we've got a yearning inside of us to
Be of service.
to share our gifts. Not everybody has got that passion. So
That's right.
I think if you're sitting at home and if you weren't on the same wavelength, you're probably not even watching this video to start with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Although that lady was at the show with Elizabeth Gilbert. But look, I don't know. I think you've just got to go along with life and like listen, be open to opportunities, have an open heart, educate yourself, surround yourself with like-minded, positive people who are going to lift you up, take some risks.
Do something different. Absolutely. Actually, Elizabeth Gilbert's response to that woman was just get curious about your life. When you get curious, ask the questions, examine. What do you want to add to your life that will enhance you? What do you want to remove that no longer serves you? What can you modify or tweak that will be something that you can put up with for now, but that will just allow you to grow, because you're here to grow. Make mistakes. The only way to grow and learn is by making mistakes. Actually, just look at the positive aspects of that and allow it to be a motivating factor. But I mean, look at sitting at home and look at, we've all been there. I've sat on my sofas too, and I've cried, and I've looked at other people. Oh, if only I could have the confidence to do that, or if only I had enough skills in that area, or if only I had that wisdom, or if only I had, if only. But if only I would just get up and actually take the first step.
Yeah, just
you don't know who you're going to meet. If only.
We all start. Everything starts with a thought.
It does.
And the first time we walked, we got up and we fell down, and we
got up again.
And so
we didn't say I can't do it.
That's right.
Yeah, and that was a natural thing. I mean, everything a baby does is within it.
Yes.
It's just natural.
So you're not born with these skills.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I mean, you're not born with the skills, and we were talking earlier, weren't we, about
well, some people are. If you're a psychic medium or things like that, they're born with those gifts.
You can develop it though.
Yes.
I mean, there's plenty of people out there that can teach you to develop those
That's
skills.
right.
So I think everything is learnable, and more than any time in our history, whatever you want to do, there's a lesson for it. There's a class to go to. Somebody can teach you it. So I would suggest to people, and I'd like you to give your own added wisdom to this, that I think, just look back a little bit and join the dots, see perhaps what you enjoyed doing once upon a time, go right back to when you were that young person and what you thought you might like to do, and it might just lead you to something else. For example, Melissa is not at this point in time the famous singer. Actually, I thought I'd like to be a singer too once upon a time. I've done a bit of sing-alonging, but I'm not a singer either. But for me, it's translated into speaking to people now through coaching and all sorts of things, speaking to groups of people. So that's where I'm at the moment. What about yourself? You're similar. You're out there in front of cameras, helping that you are reaching a global audience, but you're just not singing to them.
Yes.
You're singing a lot of people's praises because you have that beautiful heart that wants to help. So Melissa she's singing our praises, helping us to, elbowing us up and giving us, I suppose, a nudge to keep doing what it is that we feel we're here to do. So I just want to say that actually, no, I'm going to let Melissa have the final word on this. What would you just say to that one person perhaps who is on the edge of the sofa right now thinking, yes, I'm going to do it? What would you say to them?
I would just say to just have some courage. It takes a lot of courage to do something differently, because it's the unknown. And just know that if you reach out and ask for help, there is support out there for you. And I think life is way too short to be living your life just waiting for the weekend or the next holiday.
Yes.
And that every day should be a day of joy. Of course, we have our ups and downs as entrepreneurs. Yeah. But I just think we are here for so much more than getting a job and acquiring stuff that we can't take with us in the end.
I think it's just doing something with meaning, something that I think we all know when we give even a small gift to somebody, the joy that we ourselves have in giving. So I think when you can just broaden that to using your talents or your knowledge. Look at what you're good at doing. I mean, if you are a good baker, then perhaps you could teach somebody else how to bake what you do. Or if you're able to buy some beads and make some jewelry, that you might just do it as a hobby for yourself, but you've never rated yourself. But there's somebody out there, I can assure you, that would love to know how to do that. Little simple things. It doesn't have to be massive giant steps or going off to get a degree in such and such a thing.
And support yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah.
That are going to encourage you and maybe help you out with some challenges.
Yeah.
Join a support group, any of the Facebook groups if you can't get face-to-face with people.
Yes, there's lots of things out there available now. The world is a smaller place as a result of technology. The main thing I'd like to say is that, you know, my husband, son and I, we moved to Australia 16 months ago, just before my 51st birthday. So I would just like to say to you that it's never too late to make a change. Embrace the uncertainty, the wisdom of Deepak Chopra and the 7 spiritual laws of success. He's been my mentor and I teach a lot of his wisdom. And just, he used to say to his children actually when they were growing up, you know, each morning he'd say, let today be as uncertain as yesterday. And if you can live from that perspective, then you can overcome anything. Like, let's face it, we're still here. Whatever happened yesterday, we're here, you know, and we might have thought certain dreadful things may have happened to us yesterday, but we've survived. We're here. And it's about rejigging your mind and your thinking tank. Just think how you're thinking and mind your mind and master the mind, because that's what's holding you back ultimately. Have you a final word for our beautiful viewers, Melissa? Something that you'd like to share? One final thing, and we'll wrap it up.
Just have a think about what it is that you want to be remembered for and write that down, and then maybe try and visualize what that might look like for you, and then just take the first step. And if you're not sure what to do for the first step, then go and ask someone for help. Absolutely.
And just to conclude, I would say no regrets. Try to have a sense that when your final breath is imminent, that you can say, well, look, I've lived my life and I have 0 regrets. So certainly that's what I'm attempting to do, and I'm striving for that.
Take a risk.
Take a risk. There you go. So look, thank you so much, Melissa. Really enjoyed having you on the show today, and I hope those of you watching in have enjoyed this particular episode. We'll be back again at the same time next week. If you've enjoyed this particular show with Melissa Groom, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it too if you feel there's someone you know that might benefit. We're on Facebook and all the usual social media channels. Melissa's details will be also at the credits after the show. So thank you so much for watching, and if anybody out there is inspired, leave a comment below. Also, if there's somebody listening that would like to be a guest on our show, I'd love to hear from you. The more the merrier. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, we have other means of doing it. You don't have to sit on the sofa beside me. We can do it via Zoom too. Thank you so much. Until next week, be kind to yourselves. Lots of love. Bye bye.